Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on myself. I know you have a wide range of channels on the YouTubes, and I thank you for choosing me. I am Lash of Snow, and today is a little story time of random shenanigans from my past, school days, etc. So I thought I would share it with you, the lovely viewers, as something a bit different. So let me know what you think. Do you like it? Is it boring, or is it just stupid? Do you want to see more? Do you not want to see any more? So the first story I'm going to tell you today involves a good friend of mine. It's Christopher Walsh. Hello, Chris. I know he's not a subscriber, but I share these on Facebook, and I know he's a friend on Facebook. So yeah, this happened in third year in the UK, or what was it, 10th grade for Americanized systems. We were in third year, me and Chris and a whole load of others, in technology and design. Now in tech and design, you basically done all these little silly technological things, you know, to make lights flash, or to create little wooden boxes, or stuff like that. You got to use big drilling machines and vacuum presses and stuff. So it was okay for the technologically minded, but I wasn't really all that interested. But anyways, that particular day, it was like a Wednesday afternoon or something, so just picture in your head. We were in technology and design, and that particular day we were soldering circuit boards, just on a table with a whole load of different components and stuff. And Christopher was here beside me, and I think I just was soldering a resistor or something to my little circuit board. So when I was done, of course, if you don't know what a soldering iron is, by the way, I'll put a picture up now. It's just this little nibby thing at the end that heats up when you melt metal into it from like a lollipop stick, and it cements everything in place on a circuit board because it's conductive. So yeah, after, as I said, installing a resistor or something on my little circuit board, I put just use this as the soldering iron. I put the iron back in the wee holder, so it kind of sat like that for the next person, which was Chris. So as he took it and he was doing his, I noticed on the desk there was a pair of wire strippers. You can probably figure out where this is going to go. Just a side note, everything in school is kind of safety first. Safety is the number one thing, which is understandable. So while we were using the soldering irons, there was these things above the desk. They were hanging boxes, and it was a power box at the top. So when you were using tools that needed power, you would set them on the desk and you would run this thing up. And it meant then the lead was out of your way, so it couldn't get tangled up, or you couldn't trip over it and things like that. So Chris started using the soldering iron, and I was sitting here, say, and Christopher was here. And the soldering iron, the power cable came in between us, down to the little iron on the desk. And as I just said, I seen a pair of wire strippers, and I lifted them. It's so fucking stupid when I'm thinking about it now, but you can probably figure out where I'm going with this. So, lifted the wire strippers. I turned to Chris and said, "What do you think will happen if I do this?" And he looked at me and said, "Do what?" And the power cable was in front of me, so with the wire snippers, just do this. It was kind of here, and I just went. I know how stupidly friggin' dangerous that is now, and I should say, number one thing, please never ever do this, because it's stupid and it's incredibly dangerous, and you can do yourself some serious damage. So leave it to the pros. Don't ever try and strip wires that is hanging from a fucking box. That's just daft. But of course, I did it. because I'm a dick. So as soon as I kind of went, boop, I looked straight at the teacher who was kind of in front of me, and I thought, oh shit. And that's not even the worst thing. I wasn't, well, not scared, but I wasn't afraid of him going mental. My first thought in my head was, in third year we had a field trip planned with another subject, and it was to Tato Factory. And I've mentioned the Tato Factory in a previous tasting video, and I could not wait to go to the Tato Factory because it would have been the first time I'd ever went, and I was just thinking, oh, can't wait. So my first thought was, whenever I cut this power cord, was, shit, I'm not going to the Tato Factory. I mean, how stupid is that? This, I'll say this as well. Third year I would have been 13, so that was now 14 years ago. So I was stupid child. So I didn't even think about Chris on the other side of me because he was using the thing. But thank Christ for school safety. Obviously, the little iron itself had a plastic handle, so that if there was any electricity discharged, it wouldn't have went through him. And the same with me with the wire snippers, there was plastic handles. So. But as well as cutting that little boop boop thing, whenever I cut it, it must have blew the fuse box, the fuse in the little hanging box above me. That was fine because, it's only one table. And there was 4 or 6 of these tables in the room, each with its own hanging box. I later found out that that one little action of cutting the bloody box blew every single box in the room, as well as all the computer fuses around the desks. I don't know how I did not get charged for doing this. I know it's kind of risky now saying it because you might get an invoice in the post, but it was one of those stupid child things you would do. So, as I cut it, there was no massive spark or anything. There's just a tiny little pop, just went, and a little tiny little puff of smoke emanated from the hole that had been cut. It didn't strip all the way back, of course. It just kind of burnt a little bit in the plastic and exposed the live wires. But as soon as it happened, the teacher looked at me, I looked at him. You already know what I thought then. I thought he was going to launch into a tirade of abuse, but he didn't. He just looked at me, looked at everybody else, and just said, well, that was stupid now, wasn't it? Which blew me away because he didn't go nuts. It was more that parent type thing. It was like I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed in you. He didn't get mad, he didn't raise his voice, didn't throw his arms up in the air or anything. He just went, well, wasn't that stupid? So obviously I had to go up and stand beside him for a minute. He wrote this note and he gave me a technology book, like a theory book. Then he sent me to the head of the department, who was an elderly lady. Elderly, but she was an older lady. And I can remember I must have spoiled that woman's day. Because I walked into her class, everybody was happy, she was smiling, and I walked over to her with this note, and she was, oh, how are you? And, oh, you've got a little note for me. She read through it, and her smile just kind of went. Again, she didn't go nuts, or she didn't raise her voice, she just says, well, I hope you realise what you've done, that was stupid, you could have injured someone. So she gave me another book, another technology book, so I had 2 big, thick, friggin' theory books. And then I was sent to my year head to sit in a corner, and I must have wrote about 300 pages out of this book. And then whenever I brought it back downstairs after writing all these pages and pages and pages and pages, he just looked at me and says, well, I hope you've learned your lesson. Took the pages, binned them. And that, I know the point of it was just, as a punishment, but part of me thinks, what the hell? I just sat and wrote all those out and you just bin them. Evil. So this is my first little story time. of me being stupid, and please don't ever do this. It's so stupid and daft, and I apologise to Christopher now for almost killing him, but I think he'll forgive me. So yes, let me know below if this is of any interest to you, if you want to know more, if you would like to, obviously, just as I said, just hear more, or if you don't like them, tell me below if they're boring, or if you want me to try and talk about something else. Leave it below. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe button hit, share it amongst your friends, and I hope you enjoyed it. So, bye.